Welcome back to SL Chennai Speaks Out. IPL, sport or entertainment? Hari Shankar Mani, to you first. More than 4 decades ago, Kerry Packer introduced pajama cricket with cheerleaders, in-your-face marketing. Pretty much the same thing now.
Yeah.
So what's the sudden big fuss about IPL?
See, but if you see, Kerry Packer didn't alter the game drastically. See, during those days, in the 70s, you still had the 60-over format. What Kerry Packer did was he introduced colored clothing, colored balls, of course, with some paraphernalia around the stadium. But by and large, he didn't drastically alter the rules of the game. Now, a 60-over game became a 50-over game. But from a 50-over, when he pruned it to 20 overs, then I have my reservations about it. I mean, what you're doing is you're taking away the aesthetics from the game. It's no longer cricket.
All right, you are as a lawyer, let me ask you this, a fundamental question. There was a time when judges in courts used to wear those wigs and all that.
Yeah.
All right, and lawyers had pouches for the fees to be deposited there.
Yeah.
All that's changed. Now you've come to a stage where even the Bar Council has moved to the idea of addressing the judges not as my lord, but as sir.
Yeah.
So everything evolves.
No,
so
but
why
there's a reason for the evolution, because the wigs these days are worn by the lawyers. And the pouches.
You mean the grey eminences, is it?
No, the pouches they have stopped wearing because they are being picked by somebody else. So that is the reason that those innovations had to come in.
Okay. So, but why the sudden resistance to change?
No, there is no resistance to change. This year, for instance, IPL, the Indian Premier League, has become an IPL which is an injured players league. So you see the impact that it has had on the players. I mean, you have a T20 World Cup next month. And you have already some of the top players of the Indian cricket team suffering from
including
injuries.
Dhoni. That's a valid point. You have to answer that, Srinath.
Well, as players today, they need to be professional enough to handle their injuries.
No, bad enough. No, bad enough. They are playing too much cricket. And now this short bursts, you know.
It is. No, what I'm saying is, why don't you look at this as a preparation ahead of your T20 World Cup? You look at it in the proper perspective.
Preparation where is the ICU or nursing injuries, rotator cuff injuries, Sanjay, sling around your...
See, today the sort of itinerary each country has, you need to be a gladiator. I'm telling you, it's not going to be, future of cricketers wherein they play 20 years of cricket.
What about the tricks of the trade? I mean, today, Suresh Raina would, go and tell another player about some, tricks of the trade when he's batting at the middle, and tomorrow they are facing each other as opponents. What happens then?
The sort of footages you get today.
Competitive spirit.
It's always
You're
there.
nodding. What is your answer?
No, I mean, like you said, with the footage available, I mean, every single action, every single batsman can be analyzed. I mean, I don't think that's really going to make a difference, team strategies.
But the injury?
The injuries are there. I mean, if you're a professional sportsman, if IPL wasn't there, there could have been some other series. I mean, the board is greedy. The board is making money. And today, I think... BCCI has showed the whole world that we are capable of holding some world-class event. I mean,
there are management students. Okay, there are management students. We can pass the mic to the management students here. The IPL today is not just entertainment, if that's what they believe, but also a case study for many management students, right?
Yeah, certainly, yeah. Because it's opened up a huge business opportunity. So a lot of people are coming into IPL and so many management people are into that. So it opens up a huge business opportunity actually. So that's also a case too.
You're a tennis player, so do you feel slighted by the kind of the spotlight that's constantly thrown on cricket and now IPL?
No, sir. Instead of blaming the IPL, you can give credit to the BCCI for bringing and reaching out to the masses. Why not? If other boards are able to do the same thing, the people will come and watch. So
they come to watch Sania Mirza, so I can understand that. Why she hogs all the limelight.
So that's it.
He being a sportsman, he realizes what agony is there inside him.
He's not agonized.
No.
No, he's not saying he's agonized.
What he's saying is, if what BCCI is doing for a fraternity of cricketers, why not the other federation do for their own players?
Certainly,
you're spearheading the archery
federation. This is an oft-repeat thing that everybody keeps saying, the BCCI is a success. Why don't you convert your thing? Today, take for example an archery. We are not talking about individual associations or the BCCI. We're talking about the government per se. Why can't the government promote the other arts? I'm talking about archery. Today, if you give me the infrastructure, if you give me the funds, if you give me remember, I have an archer from Dharmaburi. Without the bow, he won the nationals, he won the Grand Prix, and he's the #1 scorer. But he does not own a bow. We go to the government does not give him money. Opposition leader comes down and gives us hands of money.
Milkha Singh didn't have shoes to run, but he still made it, right?
Yeah, he's made it. It's an exception. Milkha Singh is an exception. What I'm trying to say here today is, look, we are not here, we are not envying the BCCI. We are not envying anybody. I am here to say that it is a national disaster waiting to happen. Remember, 5 hours a day for 45 days, the entire country is held at ransom. No surgeon would like to schedule his surgery on that day. No police officer would like to have an important meeting on that day. No educationist would like to have a seminar on that day. Nobody would even have to like to have their own marriage on that day because no guests are going to come down for his own marriage or a reception. Anybody would schedule anything based on only what the IPL schedule is.
A senior police officer was telling me that, research has shown that during the IPL matches, the crime rate goes down because even all the criminals are watching cricket. All right, that aside.
Well, you're a hilarious man and wit and humor are part and parcel of your But then truth cannot be stolen. Don't tell me that criminals are all sitting and watching matches and the crime rate has gone down. You don't have any statistics to prove that. Trust me, the entire country very, very soon, 365 days a year, 24/7, they are going to be watching nothing but IPL and cricket.
I thought they watch Ndtv Hindu 24/7. Anyway, Jeffrey Thomas, you have your son sitting here. His exams got over just the other day. You were also, in fact, a public interest litigation was filed in the Madras High Court because the IPL was scheduled bang in the middle of board exams. I take your point, Shihan. Right in the middle of board exams. It's not just entertainment, it's a huge distraction. As a parent, speak as a parent. Huge distraction. Did you wish that the IPL was a little later so that your son could finish the board exams without that distraction?
Sometimes...
Be honest, he's listening here. Witness.
Sometimes sports makes me a little insensitive to other people, Yes, it could have been a distraction, but touch wood, he wasn't watching matches along with me. Hopefully he was studying. The whole reason why the IPL was scheduled to March, April was because of the T20 World Cup. I think that needed to be considered. And if you can have distractions all through. I mean, it's not just IPL or T20 that can distract a person. I mean, he could sit in front of a computer and be watching YouTube, or sit and, with your mobile phone, you could be playing any game. I think it all boils down to how much do you want to do, how much you want to do as a student, how much you want to watch the game. I think India is still a democratic country. They don't tell, go and watch IPL. They say, do what you want, but we're offering you a better source of entertainment.
All right, yes.
Actually, in the course of this heated conversation, we are actually forgetting certain facts. We heard that IPL is, non-patriotic. People said that it is a distraction, etc., etc. But we are forgetting the actual masses who are playing these games. The actual cricketers, they're playing local cricket, the local county cricket for their respective countries, respective regions. Even that is, based on, they're playing for Tamil Nadu or Karnataka, even that is based on region. But ultimately, those local Ranji games or whatever is not able to give them the level of, they're not able to come into the limelight. But with IPL, if they perform in one league, say a batsman scores about a couple of 50s or a couple of hundreds in the IPL matches, they're right there in the limelight. And they're immediately taken for consideration into the Indian team. So that's a huge point that we're missing here. It's ultimately sports for the people who are playing it.
All right, I want to ask Hari Shankar Mani, taking off from that question, very, very valid question. IPL is probably also a great leveler. You have small town players who get to play alongside Matthew Haydens and the rest, the top class international players, rub shoulders with them, play alongside them, and to get that international spotlight on themselves.
This is the third edition of IPL.
Yes.
In the last 2 years, tell me how many players who have rubbed shoulders with the who's who of cricket have got an entry into the playing 11 of the Indian cricket team.
Name one. We all know about a Manpreet Dhoni. We all know about a Manpreet Dhoni. We know about
already an established.
No, we know about a Manpreet Dhoni, for instance.
Manpreet
Dhoni.
Jadeja had made his debut even before IPL.
Yes.
No.
Because he was well known as an under-19 cricketer, was a member of the winning team, which won the under-19 World Cup.
Yeah, but not without the mic, yeah.
Somebody like a Ravindra Jadeja, or we talk about somebody like a Faisal Fazal today. These are Naman Ojas. These are unknown entities. As rightly one of the audience, he put it across, he said, the vision you get when you play for IPL, for a franchisee, certainly. But I'm not a great believer in saying IPL is the forum for you to get picked to play for the country. But again, you need to come through the rungs of your domestic cricket. If you are a consistent performer at the Ranji Trophy level, at the Duleep Trophy level, you get an insight into IPL. If you're not somebody who's performed well at that level, certainly you will never get a look into the IPL format of it. So fairly taken. As I said, there have been a number of cases who still made it big here, but this certainly is not a shortcut to make it to the bigger grade.
All right, yes, sir.
Again, when we take Yusuf Pathan, we take Ravindra Jadeja, the entire nation, they came to know of these people only through IPL. So, of course, Pathan, he played in, he opened for India in the 2020 World Cup. But again, he rose into limelight only because of his great and fabulous innings he played for Rajasthan Royals. And same is the case of this Pragyam Boja and other people also. So IPL, it is going to project the young people who doesn't get enough opportunities in the local games.
Do you believe, A, that IPL lends weight to your CV? You have competitive exams, IPL will come and go, but when you miss out on a competitive exam, it's your future at stake. It is a distraction. A lot of parents have genuine problems with this. Also, yes, I come to you, ma'am. Also, corporate employees, this is a year ending. A lot of corporate employees also are hit.
Okay. I have another point to make, but I'll address what you're saying first.
Yeah.
If you're truly focused on your career, on your education, you will always prioritize. I mean, it could be the IPL, it could be the EPL. You could be a basketball fan, it could be the NBA.
You're not related to him.
No, absolutely not. No, I sincerely believe so. If I have a meeting, I mean, I work in an entrepreneurial setup, and if I have something critical to do, I will not prioritize that over IPL. When I have the time, I will watch it.
Like, all of them just totally agree with whatever Jeffrey Thomas had said, but I'm just totally against it. Maybe he's one exception, but that's not how entire nation is, all kids. It's not nice. They suscept to that peer pressure. That's something that's there in everybody. And my brother's doing his board, so I could see he was like suffering to actually study. He was like, oh God, CSK is playing. I have to finish off before I watch. Okay, fine, he's pretty meticulous, but I can't expect every other child to be like that. They could have been a little more thought about it. I mean, they could have just kept it after some time.
All right, on that note, time for another short break on SL Chennai Speaks Out. When we come back, we'll talk about in fact, the extra ads that come during IPL matches, not just during overs, not just between overs, but also between balls.